Today, I want to share with you my experience speaking on live TV. A couple of years ago, I got invited to do a short segment on Fox 26 Morning News. And if you think live TV is scary, let me tell you, yes, it is. It is absolutely terrifying. And quite a few things went wrong there. So today, I want to give you a few tips on how to handle live TV. I'm Victoria Lioznyansky, and I help introverted entrepreneurs overcome their fear of public speaking and transform into confident, compelling, and captivating speakers. As some of you know, I own Nutty Scientists of Houston, which is all about inspiring kids to fall in love with science. And so I was invited to Fox 26 Morning News to present some science experiment ideas for the parents to do with their kids for the Valentine's Day. I arrived to the studio ahead of time, didn't want to be late, and this is where overwhelm really kicked in. I was surrounded by lights and microphones and people knowing what they're doing and so much stuff going on. And I realized, oh my gosh, I have to be on camera live in just a few minutes. And this is absolutely terrifying. And then something interesting happened. A reporter walked in. And he was, I guess, just doing a small segment that was pre-recorded before, and then he also had to go live and say a few things, and then the segment would play out. So he was waiting his turn, and I was watching him, and I realized he's nervous. He is absolutely nervous. He was pacing and kind of looking at his notes and all very serious and concerned, and that made me feel better. Because I realized I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one nervous here. And then he walked into the filming area and he was live. And there was not a trace of that overwhelm and anxiety. He was professional, he was smiling and laughing, he was great. And that really put me at ease more than anything else. So my tip number one for you. If you feel nervous, you're not alone. Take a deep breath and just keep on going, because professionals are nervous too. And my tip number two, be prepared for unexpected. How do you get prepared for unexpected? What I mean by that is that you should always have a backup plan. Ideally, several backup plans, just in case if things don't work out quite the way that you were expecting them to. So here is what happened. Just before we were going live, we were all prepared, our table was set up with all the science experiments, we're ready to go. We're literally going live in a few minutes. Anchors come up to us, introduce themselves, we have a little bit of a chit chat, and then teleprompter is already on. So cameras are about to start rolling. And one of the anchors turns to me and says, "Oh, Victoria, by the way, your segment is cut short. So instead of 5 minutes, as you were prepared for, we're going for 1.5 minutes. And this is where cameras start rolling. And I am looking at the camera, probably like a deer in a headlight, because I'm realizing everything we rehearsed, everything we prepared for, has to be scratched and redone on the spot in front of live audience. And I'm the first one to go. And to be totally honest with you, I did not have a backup plan. I was prepared for 5 minutes and I really didn't know what to do. So I improvised very quickly the best I could. But I could have been better prepared if I did a little more research on TV, especially live TV. I probably would have found out that this happens a lot, especially when your segment is the last segment before the program ends, and ours was the last segment. And I could have known that our 5 rehearsed minutes could potentially be cut short. Tip number 3, know the anchors. I don't think this would have been an issue for other people, but I literally do not watch TV. I have never watched Fox 26 Morning News before in my life. I've never seen those anchors, and I did not think about researching them. And here is my advice to you. You always need to know who you're meeting. You need to research who they are. You need to read about them. And the reason you do that is so that when you come into the studio, you feel like you know them, you feel like they're your friends, you feel like there is some common ground, so that when you have a little bit of a chit-chat before or after, you can actually build a connection with that person, and that connection makes it easier and makes it a lot more comfortable to be on live TV with them. Because as you know, it's always easier when you have a conversation with somebody you know versus a total stranger. Tip number 4, mistakes will happen. Roll with them. Look, mistakes will happen. We all know that. So don't even think that, oh, well, maybe mistakes won't happen. No, they will happen. You want to be prepared for them. Think them through, think through the scenarios, what can happen. If a mistake happens, and that's a type of a mistake that only you know about, it's something that, let's say, you wanted to say and you forgot to say, or you said it a little bit wrong, but it's still okay. If this is not noticeable by your audience, then just continue going. Don't even pay attention. Don't even think about it anymore. Just keep on going like nothing happened. Because if you know about your mistake, but your audience doesn't, it's fine. Just continue rolling. If you make a mistake that is noticeable, like in my case, I could have been making a volcano, right, as one of the experiments, and volcano didn't work. I didn't put the right ingredients in it. Then, of course, it's noticeable. Then what do? You can't just continue going like nothing happened because something did happen, your audience did notice. What you do is you smile, you laugh it off, and you keep on going. Anytime you fall down, you smile, you get up, you keep on going. You do not fall into pieces. You cannot fall into pieces on live TV. It doesn't matter that your audience is watching. Your audience is far more likely to forgive you for your mistake if you laugh it off, because then it makes it very human. And the last tip number 5, be yourself. This is so important. There is nothing more important than being yourself, whether you are on live TV on camera or you're on stage. Because when you are yourself, you are comfortable in your own skin. There is a lot of freedom about being yourself. You actually feel calmer when you are being yourself, because you don't need to pretend, you don't need to think, oh, what should I say? No, you just say what you think. You just be yourself. And your audience, they can read it, they can see it, and they can relate to it. Have fun with being yourself. This is such a unique experience. This is something that doesn't happen every day for most of us, right? A lot of people do not get to go in front of live camera every single day. So enjoy that experience and be the best version of you. Don't try to imitate anybody. Just be you. I'm going to link to my live segment on Fox 26 Morning News. Have fun watching it now that you know the backstory. And if you need help overcoming fear of public speaking and transforming into confident, compelling, and captivating speaker, then I have free training for you, and you can get it at www.byvictorial.com/training. Have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you next week.